I'm excited for that. But we're gonna change this up, and we're gonna go back and forth, and we're gonna list 5 features that we really want to see in this game. So 5 things that we haven't seen just yet. I'll do number 1, you'll do 2, I'll do 3, you'll do 4, and then maybe we can come together on a 5th one. So
Okay.
the first feature that I want is we've seen co-op multiplayer where someone can literally take a Joy-Con, drop in. I want to see online multiplayer like that, to where you and I, me and Daniel, Kayla and I, or whoever, can play these games with each other on our own Switches. Obviously, you'll be able to battle with people, but because Pokemon's always had online battle function, online trading function, they even added that to the original Yellow and Red, or well, I forget which one, Yellow, Red, and Blue, I think they brought to the 3DS, and they added in online stuff for that. So with this game, I want them to take it to the next step and make this co-op. Like maybe they had that in the original trailer, and then at E3 they'll announce, hey, we introduced co-op in the first trailer. Now this is the full extension of that, to where it is like huge online multiplayer, where you're walking around the world with a friend, not just sharing a Joy-Con. And then they can have their own Pokemon. You can have your Pokemon, and it's not like they're just using your Pokemon, which is what it seemed like from the trailer, to where like when someone uses your Joy-Con, they just use the Pokemon that you already have. So
yeah, and then you guys were both catching the same Pokemon.
Yeah. So online multiplayer is one thing that I want that they didn't show off. So what is one thing that you want, Cece?
It's difficult for me.
It is.
I haven't played a lot of Pokemon games, to be honest. I played one of the ones on the GameCube and Sun and Moon, and like one of them on the Game Boy. So it's not particularly like my style of like game that I love. So it's really hard for me to say what features I want specifically in Pokemon.
Yeah, when it comes
when I
to
think
your
of video games,
addiction,
I think of like
it's Zelda, Fortnite.
I think of like open world and like no restrictions.
Yeah.
But I know that's not gonna happen with Pokemon, so it's hard to say like that's what I want.
It would be awesome if it did. I think that's something everyone wanted, was like a true open world Pokemon, but
that would be really cool.
Yeah, but where this is a remake of the original, maybe they didn't want to like go too far out there. So like they wanted to keep the structure the same.
Yeah.
Where the original wasn't open world, so if they would have made this one open world, then fans of the original would have complained. So maybe they're doing the linear structure with this one, and then the next original game is going to be this huge open world-ish type thing, to where it doesn't necessarily have to be open world, but like you can visit, instead of visiting one gym and then having to visit the second, the third, maybe you can like visit them in any order you want, so that you can really go to it makes it like opens it up a bit more than it has been in past games.
I agree. Yeah, because one of the things that I remember when I played it on the GameCube, I think it was I don't remember, but you remember which ones they were, right?
Yeah, like Pokemon
I don't think it was
Coliseum. Was it not?
I think it was XD.
Gale of Darkness was...
Or that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness.
That one. So I remember when I was like, let's say in Town A, I had to go to Town B, and there was that whole like cutscene in the middle of you just riding your scooter to get from point A to point B. And I was like, it'd be really cool if I could just walk myself and explore on my way to that town, you know?
Yeah.
So that was something. So that's something that kind of came to my mind when I thought like open world, things like that. I know with Sun and Moon they didn't have that problem, except a couple cutscenes where you were riding the Pokemon from one island to the other.
Yeah. Well, the third thing, or I guess the second thing that I would want, the third thing here is I would want them to either introduce this as free DLC, or it would be DLC that I would be happy with, which is in Pokemon Go, they began with just the original 150 Pokemon. And later on, you would get updates to where they released as free DLC the second generation or the third generation. So it was like 4, 5, 6 months, however long after Pokemon Go came out, they released whatever the next generation was. So with this game, if they did something similar, that way, and I've used this example before, let's say you're a huge fan of Generation 4. Like that's your all-time favorite generation, but you still like Pokemon in general. So you buy this game, you play it, you beat it, and instead of just taking it, trading it in, or selling it to someone used, you keep it. That way, once the update releases for Generation 4 and you replay it, it's like playing through a completely different game, because now you suddenly have all of your favorite Pokemon to play with and start over, whereas before you only had the original 150, which maybe someone who's newer to the series may not be that familiar with. So yeah, and then maybe after like one full year, so every 2 months they'll release a new generation. So after a full year, you have all 7 generations of Pokemon, and that's a way to make the longevity of the game stay.
That would be pretty cool.
Because it looks like it's just starting with the original 150.
Mewtwo was part of the 150, the original?
Yeah, he was 150, and then Mew was 151. So people say 150 because it's an even number, but it was really 151. And then even in the original anime, there were Pokemon that were in the second generation that weren't officially announced yet. Like the very first episode starts or ends with Ash seeing Ho-Oh, which is a legendary from the second generation. And then Misty's always carrying around a Togepi, which is also a second generation Pokemon. So there were like the first generation anime had all of not all of, but a lot of the newer Pokemon that wouldn't be announced yet. So they kind of mixed them in the anime, but the original was 151. So yeah, what's the fourth thing that you would like?
Maybe a little more variety between the two, because I remember when I got Moon, my boyfriend, RJ, got Sun. I don't know what expectations we specifically had, but we're like, oh, it's basically the same game.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. But it's just like, I don't understand why it's split. So I guess what I'm saying I want is like a little more variety between the two.
Yeah.
So that it feels like, you know.
Yeah, there have been Pokemon games where they released and they feel almost identical. It's just a few Pokemon that are different, but then there are ones where they actually try to make it feel a lot different. So if they go in that route with this one, then not only does it give people more variety, so like if you got Eevee and I got Pikachu, then maybe my experience would be a lot different from yours.
Yeah, and it would entice people to buy both versions rather than like, oh, I already have Moon, like it's literally the same thing, why am I going to get that one? Yeah,
so instead of Nintendo getting $60 from me, they would get $120.
Someone in my chat, Deluxe, says he wants your figures.
Oh yeah, I have Goku and Link and everyone.
And then Celia says, cough, original 190 Pokemon, cough.
Original 190. What?
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Was that a joke? Original.
I don't know. Celia.
190.
Tell me, Celia, tell me. But she's really excited about this game, she said.
Oh, so there was originally 190 Pokemon, but 39 were removed and added to the second generation.
Oh, yeah, that's what she said right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to cut a bunch of Pokemon from the first gen, so it's built over to the second. I see.
Yeah.
Heard about that.
I guess it kind of gave them a boost when they were trying to come up with more Pokemon. Which there were other Pokemon that were just cut altogether. Like, their designs were just removed completely. So, like, there was the a popular one that they recently announced was like the third evolution of Pikachu, like Garachu, whatever the name was. It was supposed to look like a horned Raichu. So,
oh gosh.
Yeah, anyways, I guess the last thing, and then we can end this discussion. I want... Wait, what did I say the first time? I get so confused. I don't know if we talked... No, I don't know if we talked about it at the very beginning, or if I mentioned it when we started the second part. But whether I did or not, I'm going to say it again. Online multiplayer.
Like, yes, that was your number one thing you mentioned.
So I'm going to stress it again. I want online multiplayer so bad. Since I did mention that, I will say that I want to control the camera angle with the right Joy-Con stick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be able to move the camera angle around. But I want to stress, I want online multiplayer. Nintendo, the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, everyone who's involved with this game, please. Online multiplayer.
To us.
Yes. Let us be able to walk around, voice chat, which we'll probably have to use Discord anyways because of the online function.
Say, couldn't you do that in Sun and Moon? I'm trying really hard to remember, because I know I used to battle with RJ, but I think we ran around together a few times. As long as we had each other as friends on the DS, we were able to play together.
I have no idea.
Because I battled Valkyrie, I know that, but I don't know if we didn't like play in the story together. But I think with RJ we played in the story together. I don't remember. Do any of you guys know?
I don't think they had that, because that's something that everyone wants. But if they did, then I completely forgot. Which I've mostly played Pokemon games single player anyways. Unless it was just trading to someone through Facebook or something. But anyways, that brings us to the very end. Thank you to the 40 people that are still watching. I think it got up to like 50 to 60 at one point. Thank you to everyone who's watching CC's stream as well. Where can people find you, CC?
Twitch.tv/HighlyandCC.
Nice. Alright, and you can find myself everywhere at GameOverJesse. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, everything is /GameOverJesse. So thank you all for watching, and thank you, CC, for joining me on this very last minute Pokemon news thingy.
My chat's like, what? It's over?
Yeah, we only had the one topic. Last night we went for 4 hours on the Hylian Games cast, so tonight it's just 30 minutes. So, sorry guys.
Pokemon.
But I'm sure CC is going to be doing something. You can watch her and her, what did they call you? What was it?
Snack?
Yeah. You can watch CC and her snack self.
Someone in Jesse's chat commented and was like, they called me a snack. I'm edible. JK, not really. But yeah, thanks for coming by, guys. On my end of the stream, I will go live again later. I'm downloading a game right now. We're gonna give it a try once it's done downloading.
Alright, bye guys.
I will talk to you guys later. Bye! Jesse, don't hang up.